pressure, we develop a habit called, what if, what if the most physically exhausting work you did today wasn't your job?
Right.
So, uh, I want you to try something for me right now, just for a second. Um, Pause and really notice how many things are demanding your attention at this very moment.
Oh, yeah. There is always something, isn't there?
Exactly. I mean, maybe you're walking down a busy street,
Mhm.
or maybe you have like 3 different screens open on your computer right now.
At least 3, probably more, right?
Yeah, totally. Maybe your phone is buzzing in your pocket and there's, a news program playing in the background. I want you to think about all of that input, all of that volume.
It's exhausting just thinking about it.
It really is. So, I want you to try something for me right now, just for a second. Pause and really notice how many things are demanding your attention at this very moment.
Oh, yeah. There is always something, isn't there?
Exactly. I mean, maybe you're walking down a busy street, or maybe you have like 3 different screens open on your computer right now.
At least 3, probably more, right?
Yeah, totally. Maybe your phone is buzzing in your pocket and there's, a news program playing in the background. I want you to think about all of that input, all of that volume.
It's exhausting just thinking about it.
It really is. And that's why today we are exploring a very unique guide. It actually uses language learning as a sort of backdoor to finding mental peace.
Which is a brilliant approach to learning, by the way.
Right. It's a curriculum focused entirely on a theme called the beauty of silence. And it's designed to do 2 things at once. It teaches you English, and it helps you escape the daily chaos.
Yeah, because usually studying a new language feels like, well, it feels like adding more work to your plate. You're memorizing grammar. You're stressing over vocabulary,
Absolutely. Pushing your brain to work harder.
Exactly. But this source material flips that entire dynamic. It uses the English language as a tool to actually calm your mind down.
And to really honor that source material today, we're going to keep our conversation clear, relaxed, and very easy to follow. We're keeping a measured pace, so it's the perfect space for you to learn and just unwind.
I love that.
But before we can actually find any peace, we have to look closely at what is destroying that peace. The guide gives us a very specific vocabulary to describe our modern environment.
Yeah, it highlights 3 everyday English words: loud, noisy, and busy.
Those words might seem basic, but they describe the reality of our daily lives with a lot of precision. I mean, loud is about pure volume. Think of an ambulance siren or a construction site.
Right, it's the physical sound.
Exactly. But noisy is a little different. Noisy means there are many unpleasant, chaotic sounds happening at once, like a crowded cafeteria where you can't even hear your own thoughts.
Yeah, it's a disorganized sound. And then busy describes the physical and mental state, right? Having too many things to do, too many people moving around, and 0 time to rest.
When you combine those 3 concepts, loud, noisy, and busy, you really capture the core emotional problem of modern life. And the curriculum summarizes this with one simple, powerful sentence.
The world is too loud today.
The world is too loud today. Just hearing that spoken out loud makes me feel a little bit exhausted, honestly, because it's so universally true.
Oh, completely.
We feel that loudness in our physical environment, but it also creates a kind of loudness in our minds.
Well, what's fascinating here is the biology behind that feeling. Human brains did not evolve to process the amount of data we currently feed them.
Wait, really? The biology of it?
Yeah, historically, a sudden loud noise meant danger, like a predator in the bushes. Today, our phones make sudden noises all day long.
Oh, wow. That makes so much sense.
Biologically, our bodies react to those pings and alerts with tiny spikes of stress chemicals. We were basically living in a state of constant low-grade alarm.
Okay, let's unpack this for a second. Think of your digital life, your phone, your email, your social media, kind of like walking through a massive, crowded outdoor market.
I can picture that. Lots of chaos.
Right. Imagine hundreds of people packed shoulder to shoulder. The fruit sellers are shouting. The music is blaring. But the craziest part is that every single person in that market is shouting your name at the exact same time.
That is deeply overwhelming.
Right. Hey, look at this. Read this email. Reply to this message. Watch this video.
That paints a very vivid picture. But the real problem goes even deeper than that metaphor. Because in a real physical market, you can eventually walk out.
True. You can just go home.
Exactly. You walk down a quiet street and leave the crowd behind. The danger of the modern digital world is that we have put the crowded market inside our pockets.
Oh, man.
Because we carry our phones everywhere, our brains never get the biological signal that we are safe and away from the crowd. We never truly leave the market.
Which explains exactly why the source material doesn't just point out the problem, it demands a core action. The advice it gives is incredibly direct. It says, turn off the notifications.
Just turn them off.
Yeah, it's basically telling you to actively close the door to that market. It gives you permission to just stop.
And this brings us to the first featured practice sentence from the guide. It's really a statement of personal power. The sentence is, I choose to be quiet.
I choose to be quiet. Let's look at the grammar of that sentence for just a moment. The most important word is the verb choose.
Right. It's an active decision.
Exactly. You aren't being forced into a quiet room because you have nothing to do. You are deliberately setting a boundary against the chaos.
It reclaims your agency. You are telling the world, I am not a victim of your noise. I'm deciding what enters my mind.
But taking that action leads us to a really interesting psychological hurdle. Let's say we follow the advice. We turn off the notifications. We put the phone in another room.
Okay, sounds good so far.
Well, suddenly the loud market is gone and the noise stops. The problem is, when that noise stops, it usually feels incredibly uncomfortable.
Oh, absolutely. It can feel awkward or even lonely.
Yeah. We say we want peace, but when we finally get a quiet moment, we suddenly don't know what to do with ourselves.
This is a widely documented phenomenon. When you remove the constant stimulation of a noisy world, the brain experiences something similar to withdrawal.
Like an addiction.
Exactly like an addiction. We are so used to being distracted that the sudden absence of distraction feels terrifying.
Now here's where it gets really interesting. I want to push back on the guide's advice for a second. The curriculum tells the learner to sit in the quiet and listen to your heart.
Right.
Now that phrase sounds wonderful in a poem, but I have to be honest, telling people to just listen to their heart feels a bit like, well, an empty cliche.
It can definitely feel that way at first.
Because when I finally put my phone away and sit in silence, I don't hear my heart. I hear my anxiety. I hear my brain screaming about my to-do list, the emails I forgot to send, the chores I need to do.
Yeah, the mental chatter just gets louder.
Exactly. The silence doesn't feel peaceful. It feels like a giant empty void. How does this guide actually help us bridge that gap?
That's a very real struggle, and it's exactly why the source material introduces what I like to call a concept flip. The guide knows that your initial reaction to silence will be anxiety.
Okay.
So it uses language to actively rewire your perception. It tells the learner that silence is not empty. Instead, silence is full of peace.
Oh, it changes the definition of the word entirely.
If we connect this to the bigger picture of language learning, we see how profound this is. The vocabulary we use actually shapes our psychological reality.
How so?
Well, if you describe a quiet room as empty, your brain searches for what is missing. It feels like a loss. But if you describe that same quiet room as full of peace, your brain recognizes that something positive is present.
That is such a huge shift in perspective.
It is. The anxiety you hear in those first few moments of silence isn't your true self. It's just the leftover noise leaving your system. By redefining the space as full of peace, the guide gives you the patience to sit through that initial discomfort.
That makes a lot of sense. The curriculum is using positive English phrasing to fight the withdrawal from our busy lives. And it pairs this mental shift with a very basic physical action.
Right, breathing.
Yes. It instructs the learner to take a deep breath, in and out.
The physical action supports the mental shift because deep, slow breathing physically lowers your heart rate.
So you're treating the biology of the stress again.
Exactly. It signals to your nervous system that you are not in danger. Only after you slow your breathing down and change your perception from empty to full can you actually begin to listen to your heart without the anxiety drowning it out.
So you're finally creating enough room to hear your own inner needs, the things you actually care about underneath all the text messages and daily demands.
Precisely.
And that leads to the featured practice sentence for this part of the guide. Silence is my safe place.
Think about the transformation happening in that sentence. Silence is my safe place. It turns the quiet from a threatening void into a sanctuary of protection.
It's beautiful, really.
Yeah. And if you're an English learner, memorizing that phrase isn't just about passing a vocabulary test. It's about giving yourself a verbal shield against a loud world.
Now, I think viewing silence as a sanctuary is a beautiful philosophy. But we have to acknowledge a very practical reality here.
Which is?
We all have jobs, we have families, responsibilities, complicated lives. We can't just abandon our duties and sit in a perfectly silent room all day taking deep breaths. We have to interact with the noisy world.
Oh, the curriculum anticipates this entirely. It knows that a philosophy is useless if you can't apply it to a Tuesday morning when you're rushing to get ready for work.
Right. Tuesday mornings are the worst.
So that's why the final section of the source material focuses on turning this mental regulation into sustainable, everyday habits.
So what does this all mean for our daily schedules? Like, how do we take the big idea of silence as my safe place and shrink it down into an actionable step?
The source suggests creating a 5-minute daily corner.
A 5-minute daily corner. I love the physical boundaries implied by that phrase.
Me too. It's not asking you to dedicate an entire room to meditation or asking for an hour of your time. It's just a corner and it's just 5 minutes.
It's very approachable.
Exactly. It focuses on micro habits. Specifically, it teaches vocabulary related to daily routines, emphasizing the importance of a morning ritual.
A morning ritual.
A morning ritual is simply a habit you perform every single morning to set the tone for your day. But the guide insists on one non-negotiable rule for this specific ritual.
Let me guess. No phone.
No phone.
No phone. That is arguably the hardest rule in the entire guide. The source suggests having this phone-free time during a basic daily activity like eating breakfast or, drinking a cup of morning tea.
Yes. And the sensory advice it gives is simply to enjoy the moment.
Enjoy the moment.
Now, this raises an important question about behavioral psychology. Why the morning? Why is the guide so focused on the start of the day?
Well, I would guess it's because our mornings dictate our momentum. If I wake up and immediately look at my phone, I'm instantly thrown back into that crowded shouting market we talked about earlier.
Bingo. You're flooding your brain with cortisol, the primary stress hormone, before you've even gotten out of bed.
Wow. Literally starting the day stressed.
Exactly. Your brain enters a state of reaction. You are reacting to the news, reacting to emails, reacting to other people's emergencies.
That is so true.
But if you start your day in your 5-minute daily corner completely without your phone, you build a powerful emotional anchor.
An emotional anchor, meaning it keeps you grounded when the waters get rough later on.
That's exactly it. By drinking a glass of water or just looking out a window in total quiet for 5 minutes, you are communicating something profound to your own nervous system.
You're telling it you're safe.
Yes. You are telling your brain, I'm in control of my environment and I am safe. Setting that calm baseline in the morning protects you for the next 24 hours.
That is fascinating.
Because when the inevitable stress of the busy world hits you at noon, your brain remembers that baseline of peace. You don't get as overwhelmed because you started from a place of stillness.
It's almost like putting on a suit of armor made of quiet before you step out the front door.
I love that analogy.
And that brings us to the final practice sentence from the curriculum, which connects the time, the action, and the feeling perfectly. The sentence is, I enjoy 5 minutes of silence every day.
Let's look at the structure of that sentence. I enjoy 5 minutes of silence every day. It uses the word enjoy.
Right. Not tolerate.
Exactly. It doesn't say I tolerate or I force myself to endure 5 minutes of silence. It reinforces the concept flip we discussed earlier. You look forward to it because it is a gift you are giving to yourself.
It really is a promise to yourself, a small daily commitment that changes your entire relationship with stress.
And as the curriculum wraps up, it leaves the learner with a brief closing blessing. 2 simple commands. Stay peaceful, stay strong.
Stay peaceful, stay strong. Notice how those 2 ideas, peace and strength, are placed side by side.
Yeah, that's intentional.
Right, because in the modern noisy world, we sometimes mistakenly think that being loud makes you strong. We think that being constantly busy makes us important.
But the guide flips that too.
It does. Finding silence and protecting your mental space is what actually gives you the true strength to handle the chaos.
Strength through stillness. I mean, it requires a lot of mental fortitude to walk away from the noise and actually choose quiet.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to speak directly to you, the listener. Think about the journey we've mapped out today using this unique curriculum.
It's been quite a journey.
It really has. First, you learn the vocabulary to identify the loud, noisy, and busy world causing your anxiety. You realize that the world is too loud, and you gave yourself permission to step out of that crowded market by simply turning off the notification.
Yeah, huge first step.
Huge. Second, you completely redefine the concept of silence. You learn that it isn't an empty void to be feared, but rather a safe place full of peace, where you can finally hear your own thoughts.
And then the practical application.
Yes. Finally, you learned how to bring this peace into your real life. You now have the blueprint for a practical 5-minute morning ritual with no phone, allowing you to create an emotional anchor for your entire day.
By studying this guide, you aren't just memorizing English words. You're really adopting a new framework for navigating modern life.
So our challenge to you is to put this into practice tomorrow morning. Find your own 5-minute daily corner, leave your phone in the other room, sit down, take a deep breath, and in that quiet space, I highly encourage you to speak your new English sentences out loud.
Speak them into the quiet.
Yes. Say, I choose to be quiet. Say, silence is my safe place. Say, I enjoy 5 minutes of silence every day. The simple, physical act of speaking those specific words out loud into a quiet room will connect the language to the feeling of peace in a way that, well, simply reading them from a textbook never could.
And as you embark on that practice, I want to leave you with one final thought to mull over. It's something not explicitly written in the text of the guide, but it builds on everything we've explored today.
Oh, I'm intrigued. What is it?
Well, as language learners, we spend an enormous amount of time, energy, and effort learning how to speak properly. We study the vocabulary, we analyze the grammar, and we practice our pronunciation so we can connect with other people.
Right, that's the whole point, usually.
But what if the most profound communication we ever have, the deepest connection we ever make with ourselves, doesn't actually require any words at all? What if the most important conversations we have happen entirely in the quiet spaces we deliberately create between the words?
The spaces between the words. Wow. That completely changes how you think about learning and how you think about listening.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you found some genuine quiet in the chaos today. And as our guide reminds us at the very end,
Stay peaceful, stay strong,